The 6 hours of Spa just finished. It was an amazing race.
So down to the first corner then and through the source, the customary pushing and shoving.
99 was double pit stop, but they're in the pit now.
Now, you almost think you were going to get it back there. That was very close.
Pace is looking very good. Pace is looking very good. Then we have the option, then you do 2 more tips. And zero oversteer. Go quick.
Copy and stability.
And 3 is okay. My worst problem is changing direction and initial power up.
Number 8 Toyota past the pit.
To know who crosses this finish line first, stay with us.
Of their win in Silverstone, Toyota and all the teams have made their way to Belgium for round 2 of the FIA World Endurance Championship. But before going to the track, let's make a short stop off in Brussels with a very special tour guide.
The mannequin pits. La Grand Place de Bruxelles. I grew up here since I was 3 years old, and I always like to come back, you know. I travel the world everywhere. I live in Tokyo, race in the WEC, we go everywhere, but I always try to come back as much as possible here. I really love it. It's a small country, but very fine. People are very nice, and there's a playground for everything. So go-kart was very good, so I started my racing career here as well. And I'm very happy that Spa is on the WEC calendar. I mean, Belgium is a small country. They don't have much car industry, but they have a really good motorsport culture. And you can feel this when you go there. A lot of fans, a lot of passionate people. I can't wait to be there and rock and roll. And Belgium is the country of chocolate. Chocolate is something we are very familiar with here in Belgium, and especially here in this house. I feel very tempted, and although we're athletes, you know, we take care about what we eat, but when we cheat, for me, definitely is chocolate, and I just love it. For me, it's the nicest sweet I can get. Hey guys, I know you've been working hard, filling up the car after Silverstone. Been making some chocolate yesterday. C'est bon? C'est bon.
Spa-Francorchamps, a circuit steeped in motorsport history. With its world-famous fast corners and challenging climbs, it's 7 kilometres of pure adrenaline and a firm favourite with the drivers.
Le Mans is special for many things, but if I have to choose one, I would choose Spa.
It is a full World Championship race and there is no mercy.
I like Pujon a lot. Pujon is one of those corners that you can push harder and harder and harder and gain lap time until you push too hard and you go off.
And as we are in Spa, we are honoured to welcome Formula One and Le Mans winner Jochen Mass as our Grand Marshal.
Spa has a sort of a mystic feel. It was the forests, the weather, of course, which was always unpredictable, and it was super fast in the old days. So they had to shorten it, but they did it in a beautiful way. And the new circuit is, I think, one of the finest circuits we still have in the whole year.
For this round here in Spa, Denis Chevrier focuses on the ultimate in endurance racing, the LMP1.
Welcome in Spa. White on red, LMP1 prototype. Prototype which are the top category of the endurance races. To design such a car, you have some technical regulations. Technical regulations which implement the request of a bodywork. It's not a single-seater, it's an endurance prototype. So the regulations make some requirements in terms of general dimension, in terms of some very specific characteristics, about some qualities for the wings, for the aerodynamic elements, many descriptions, which makes really a very large field of technical investigations for manufacturers. As this is a pinnacle of the endurance, you have some manufacturers, and it is a possibility for them to implement some technology to show their high technological skill. The way to power this car, there are some hybrid equipment which are as well regulated. Not only manufacturers are in the field of LMP1, there are part of the regulation which permit to some clever privateers to compete as well in this discipline and to show their skill and their technology and their quality.
Just 2 weeks after testing, Rebellion enter a new era and make their race debut in the Rebellion R1.
It's a new and exciting project for us, working in collaboration with Orica. They were commissioned to design the car just over 1 year ago. We wanted to have a car that was compliant with the new regulations for the light category of LMP1. And they took that design brief, and from a clean sheet of paper in just less than 1 year, here we are at Spa with 2 cars on the grid. So it's been a big project, a great achievement, and very nice to see the cars here. We're very young with the cars. We've only done a few kilometers with them, so we don't know much yet about how they're going to perform and what the reliability is going to be like. So it's very much a test or extended test prior to Le Mans.
Hey, previously in the WEC.
Looking back to 2 weeks ago and round 1 of the FIA World Endurance Championship at Silverstone, anticipation was building after a long winter break and everybody was back and eager to race. Porsche entered the weekend with high hopes for their return to racing in the Le Mans prototypes. For Toyota, it was a perfect start to the season. Quick in qualifying, a pole and a strong start to the race had them in fine stead to convert to a 1-2 finish.
Audi scored 0 points at Silverstone, we took 44 and Porsche scored 15. We made a big step, which is good, even though it will be a long season. There's still a long way to go. It's going to be a big battle.
For Audi, though, it was not such a perfect picture. An early incident for Lucas de Grassi put him out of the race. And it wasn't long before another problem caused the second of the Audis to crash, and it was a non-finish for the German team.
It's the first time in the WC history that Audi retires both cars, but I guess that day had to happen, and this was in Silverstone, so let's forget about it, learn from it, and come back stronger in Spa.
Porsche were impressive in qualifying. In the race, however, they had a few mechanical issues with the number 14 car. But it wasn't all bad news for the team, who managed a podium in their first WEC race with the number 20.
Silverstone is a track that doesn't really favor our concept. We know that Spa will favor our concept more. And I think anyway, we'll just get more and more competitive from race to race. You should never forget Porsche, okay, is a big name, but we're actually a new team.
So race 1 is now history. It's now time to head for round 2.
Beneath broken cloud, the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, sitting in the Ardennes forest. And this is one of the most prestigious circuits on the calendar. The fans are here for the endurance as well, camping from early in the weekend and ready to enjoy the 6-hour race ahead. 46,000 of them, in fact, flocked to the circuit here in Belgium. And all ready to take part in the action of a pit walk, meet the drivers, obtain an autograph, and of course, enjoy the spectacle that lays before us. And before the serious business of racing, the drivers are on form once again.
I wish we got paid per sign.
A bit cold here in Spa, but at least it's sunny today, so yeah, looking forward to the race.
Well, a sea of people in the pit lane. Endurance is something that the locals hold close to their heart.
I've seen tremendous crowds here, you know, much bigger than most other tracks, and that's nice. And the enthusiasm for Spa has never waned. It's something, you know, people, for some reason, of course, it's been also a very dramatic circuit, tragedy and sentimentality and da-da-da-da. So it's one big Hollywood cinema, you know, but more serious.
Long, 6 hours. We'll see.
Well, Hollywood indeed. And this time, the drivers are the celebrities.
Very good, just busy down.
Busy it is, and it's time for the fans to take their seats trackside as the race is looming. There are VIPs in attendance on the grid, including the FIA and ACO presidents, and fans from all over the world, including neighbouring countries, France and Germany. Looking at the GT AM class on the grid then, and it's a first pole position for the number 61 Ferrari 458 Italia, who are ahead of the local Belgian team, Pro Speed Competition. Let's hear from Marco Ciocci.
We are happy because we work a lot in that hour in dry condition. We think we have a good balance, so we want to be just consistent, quick enough to save tires and make a good job. We are in good shape, we can make a good job.
Well, coming to the GTE Pro class, Marco Viecchi and Marco Holzer line up on third.
It was all the time wet, damp and really cold. Today is the first time where the sun finally came out, so we will see.
Just ahead of them, the number 97 Aston Martin, who performed much better in qualifying this time out. Darren Turner is one of the drivers.
It's a nice day, but the temperature's still quite cool, and we're on a medium tyre. You probably would go for the soft tyre at this stage, but we haven't got an allocation for the whole race, so we're going to have to take a bit of pain at the beginning, and then you know, hopefully towards the end of the race we can go with the soft tyre and find some pace at that point.
Well, taking the pole position in the Pro category, it's the number 51 Ferrari of Jimmy Bruni and Tony Volander, and they are all too aware of the pressures ahead racing here at Spa.
Eau Rouge, Blassimon for our cars. We can do it flat, but it takes the old school balls to do it, and it will be an interesting race again with the Porsche, and today also with Aston Martin. The competition is very tight, so it will be a hard battle and there's no margin of error.
Well, taking their first pole position of the season in the LMP2 category, it's the Nissan Oreca number 47 of KCMG.
Silverstone, and we were a little bit unlucky. We had a technical problem which cost us pole, but we made retributions for it here in Spa. So hopefully we can continue the trend, win the race, and go to Le Mans leading the championship.
Well, after a very disappointing start to the season at Silverstone for Audi with 2 non-finishes, local hero Andre Lotterer with his teammates Fassler and Super Ben are hoping to put in a much better performance here in Spa.
Silverstone, it didn't work out. We cannot do more than what we can, you know. Yeah, sure, revenge, but we gave all we have, and yeah, we will try to do better, obviously.
Well, it couldn't have been a better start to the year for Toyota. And They're not on pole, but they're close. It's Anthony Davidson, Lapierre and Sebastian Buemi.
Audi are strong, and obviously the Porsche claiming pole position. Congratulations to them for yesterday. It was an exciting one. We thought we had it, but the last seconds of qualifying they took it away from us, so it will be close.
Well, in their return to endurance racing, Porsche had an outstanding start at Silverstone with a podium, and now with the number 14 car, a pole here in Spa. But the hard work is still to be done.
To snatch pole was really nice, but pole positions doesn't give you any trophies, so well, it sounds weird when you're on pole position to say you only try to finish the race, but in our position where we are, where we come from, it will be just great to finish the race.
Well, final preparations down on the grid, and we see Anthony Davidson keeping up to speed with the WEC app. This is the final race before the Le Mans 24-hour, and the atmosphere is intense.
You join me at the front of the grid, the WEC grid, and of course this championship wouldn't be possible without the partnership between the ACO and the FIA. Jean-Todt, first of all, thanks for coming today. The crowd are out, the sun's even come out here in Spa. It's only just entering our third season of WEC. Could you imagine it would be so successful so quickly?
No, you know, we are very happy because it's moving forward very well. And as you said, beautiful weather, a lot of strong manufacturers, strong cars in LMP1, LMP2, in GT, and a good answer from the spectators in this beautiful circuit. So we are looking for a beautiful race too.
Today in Spa we have big manufacturers, we have a big crowd, and we will have a very fantastic fight between these big manufacturers, but also in P2 and GT. And I think I'm very happy to see with Jean this championship. It's a big success.
Without further ado, let's get straight on with the race.
Radio check. Leave the grid, mechanics, leave the grid immediately. 1 minute on the grid. 1 minute to start the formation. Clear the grid.
Well, the cars are on the grid and the drivers are ready to go. This weekend's Grand Marshal is Jochen Mass, and there he is, waving the green flag to signify the start of the formation lap. Well, there's your colour code to distinguish the 4 categories in the championship. As their cars make their way round La Source, the starting grid. Taking pole then is Yanni in the number 14 Porsche, sitting alongside Nico Lapierre in the Toyota. Second row, it's Audi, Toyota of Lotterer and Sarrazin. And on row 3, it's Bernard alongside the Audi number 1 of Loic Duval. Row 4, and it's Philippe Albuquerque alongside the pole-sitting LMP2 KCM G car, started by Richard Bradley. And then we see SMP Racing alongside our Silverstone winners, G-Drive Racing. Jota Sport line up alongside the Rebellion Racing car, out for the first time this season with Nick Heidfeld. And then it's SMP Racing alongside the first of the GTE Pro cars of Bruni. Row 8, we see Aston Martin alongside Porsche. Here we'll see the safety car peel off, and we'll wait for the red lights to go out, signifying the start of 6 hours. Well, the cars coming through the bus stop for the final time and down onto the start-finish straight. Will it see the red lights go out? Well, it's lights out and it's a clean start for the World Endurance Championship race here in Spa, and heading down towards the first corner, the Porsche is ahead. Well, as they make their way round towards Eau Rouge, let's join John Eindhoven.
So down to the first corner then and through the source, the customary pushing and shoving as we've got the leading pair getting away just a little bit through Eau Rouge for the first time. It is Porsche, Toyota as they go over the top of Radion down the Kemmel Straight.
Well, that's right, John. Now, the Kemmel Straight is a fantastically long straight, and it's one where the drivers throughout this race will be able to make passing opportunities. It's a tense time in the Porsche box, as it is in the grandstand for the fans waiting to see the cars come round for the first time, and it is a lead extending for the number 14 Porsche, and disappointingly for the Audis, they seem to be slipping a little bit further back down the field as we are on board with the number 3 car there. Well, the number 20 Porsche are trying to get past the number 7 Toyota as they come through the right-hander. Just able to make the break as the number 7 car appeared to slip back there. Here we see the two Audis, number 2 and number 1 on board then, as the number 1 car of Duval chases down his teammate and makes the pass through. It was a disappointing start to this season for the Audis. Will this be the weekend where they can shine once more? We see Dr. Ulrich looking on anxiously at the start of the race as we now join the GTE AM battle. And here we see the AF Corsa 1-2 in this class. And the number 88 Porsche chasing down the Ferrari ahead of him. Well, the LMP2 47 car has made a clean start and broken away from the 27 SMP racing car behind him and the G-Drive car just behind that. They looked like they'd had a good start, but they seem to have slipped back into 3rd position. Here on board with the number 92 Porsche then, in the Pro category for the GTE class. And they are being chased down by the number 92 Porsche. And look at that, not much between them at all, as we see them head down into La Source, the tight right-hand hairpin. And then it's flat out along the old start-finish straight. The cars tend to move over and hug the pit wall, as you can see ahead from the Porsche, the Aston Martin rather there, and it's up through Eau Rouge, through the blind left-hander, and full speed along the Kemmel Straight. Number 14 car already making their way through traffic then, as they hunt down the GT cars ahead of them, just 15 minutes into this 6-hour endurance race. Well, we can see fantastic pace there from the number 14 car as their teammate, the number 20, is into the pits. This must be a problem for the car because it's very early to be starting pit stops. Let's see if we can hear from the team radio.
Okay, mate. The rear damper's broken. We're changing that now. Stay in the car. We'll send you out as soon as we can.
Well, a disappointing start to the race for the number 20 car, but it wasn't long before they were able to rejoin the race and show competitive once more. Rejoining the GTE AM battle then, and it's the Ferraris against the Porsche there. And just as the Porsche comes through into the start-finish straight, we're able to see the speed they held against the Ferrari. And here again, joining the pro battle of the 92 Porsche, hunting down the Aston Martin ahead of him. Just unable to get past, it would seem, at this point. The Aston is very quick on the straight as they just use the curbs there. Well, joining the LMP2 battle for first position, and it's KCMG with Richard Bradley just ahead of Olivier Pla in the G-Drive car, and as they make their way through traffic, getting held up ever so slightly by the Porsche that divides them. Well, a beautiful aerial view of the Kemmel Straight here. And you can see how long that straight is and what an opportunity it is for the drivers to make a pass. And pass they did for the G-Drive car as they get ahead of the KCMG. And it's a spin for the number 88 Porsche. And contact, I think, there between them and the Aston Martin of Richie Stanaway. Yes, we can see it in the replay there. A little bit of contact. And Richie Stanaway to be pulled up on that by the race director. The LMP1 battle for 3rd position then, and it's Toyota ahead of Audi. That's Sarrazin and Duval, and those cars at the moment as they come around into the bus stops, one of the slowest parts of the circuit, and it's a pit stop 45 minutes into the race for Toyota. So Sarazan is out and Kazuki Nakajima is in. And it's a nice clean pit stop and a switch of position as the Audi manages to just get ahead during that stop. The leading number 14 Porsche into the pits then, and it looks to be Neil Yarni still at the wheel of that one, doing a double stint. He's maintained his lead and he's back out and flying. We join a replay now of Nico Lapierre in the Toyota coming past the number 1 Audi of Loic Duval. And can Duval get it back? No, he can't, as they come up through Eau Rouge and the Radion and down onto the Kemmel Straight. That was an absolutely outstanding performance by the Toyota of Lapierre. What a drive as we now are on board with Duval in the number 1 Audi, and showing on that view how the Toyota has just got such an impressive amount of speed along the straight. Tom Christensen looking on to that shot as well. Wow, what a performance. The GTE Pro leaders are in then, the number 51 Ferrari, and Jimmy Bruni gets out and helps to strap his teammate Tony Verlander into the car. And it's a nice tidy stop from the AF Corsa team once more. Well, the first hour of this 6-hour endurance race is complete as we join the Aston Martin number 97 car, who has just managed to take the lead from the 92 Porsche as they are in the pits. And here they are, fuel going on first, and as soon as the fuel is complete, the team are released to make the tyre change. No driver change this time for the number 92 car though. And as we look at the aerial view of Spa-Francorchamps, you see now how tight the La Source hairpin is. And we join the battle of the Audis as they brake hard into this right-hand corner. And it's Duval ahead of Lotterer. And it just seems that Duval has a little bit more speed coming down the start-finish straight than the number 2 car. The Audis appearing to struggle slightly this weekend once more as we see them come through Eau Rouge. They don't lift at all, it's flat out onto the Kemmel Straight. And here we can see the Toyota catching the duo there, seemingly very quick along the Kemmel Straight. Look at that, as they dart out to the right and take the number 2 Audi into the corner. Can they get ahead and take the second of the Audis? It looks like they may well be able to, as they're held up a little bit by traffic of the GTE Ferrari ahead of them. Through they go, and once again that traffic has allowed the first of the Audis to just break away from that group.
Oh, and we've got now, is that a whole tyre and a wheel? Or it is. It's a wheel and a tyre rolling down the circuit. Where's that come from? It's come from, I think, the number 90 Ferrari. Yes, it is. It's right front from the Ferrari number 90 of Gianluca Roda.
And Gianluca Roda limping the car back to the pits as we see the replay of the tyre. That could have been disastrous. It really could. Well, we see in our picture now the 2 Aston Martins in the Golf livery of Mucca and Rees. They lie 1-2 in the GTE Pro category, and just a tenth of a second between them as they come down the old pit straight. This weekend is very much viewed as a test before Le Mans.
It's great because A, it's the last test before the 24 hours, and B, they can use it also in the traffic, because in Le Mans you have a great mix of cars, different speeds, same here. So that's very good to practice that and to see how you get by, and also for the slower guys, they learn a lot.
Back on board with the number 91 Porsche of Patrick Pilet, chasing down James Collado in the Ferrari ahead of him. The number 71 car, can he get through as they make their way through the right-hand corner? He's really putting on the pressure behind James Collado. He's the youngest driver on the grid here in the WEC, and he's putting on a fine fight, keeping Pilet behind him through the right-hand and left-hand corner there, and you can see how much more throttle James is using ahead of Patrick Pilet, really pushing to keep the Porsche behind him. And as they come up through Le Combe, is this the time when Pilet will be able to get past Collado? Not quite. James really putting on a fight to keep his lead in this part of the race, and we see the number 92 car joining the battle. And the Audi number 2 car running very wide through Radion there and avoiding action of the Ferrari. Just too late to take the brakes, and there's Bergmeister looking on in relief, I think. Well, the Jota Sport car ahead of the Rebellion Racing Toyota, who is out for the very first time this weekend, and it's not been their finest weekend. It's the first time the tyres have turned on the cars, and the number 13 car is in the garage. Well, coming through Pouhon, the Toyota running wide. And now we join the GT battle once again with the Jota Sport car just in the middle of that battle, as we see the traffic heading up through the Eau Rouge.
Box this lap, maybe one more lap.
Well, the number 14 car a little bit confused there. Box, no, one more lap, no, they've boxed. And a stall as they leave the pit. They get the car restarted and it's back to business. Well, a switch in the lead then as that pit stop has taken place, and it's now the number 8 Toyota who leads this race with 4 hours and 15 minutes remaining. The Aston Martin then ahead of the AF Corsa in second and third. Tony Villander now at the wheel of the AF Corsa. Number 51 and right on the back of him as they come round La Source. Braking a little bit later for the AF Corsa and chasing down the number 99 car ahead of him. Another pit stop then. Villander now out and Bruni gets back into the car. Remember, Bruni started the race for this team. He's going to put the charge on as we begin the 4th hour of the race. So another switch in lead for the GTE Pro cars, and it's the 51 car after their pit stop now ahead of the number 92 Porsche. And as ever in the GTE Pro category, it was an incredible battle for the full 6 hours here in Spa, with position changes aplenty. Joining now the Oreca Nissan of KCMG, who is currently lying 5th in class, having started on pole position. They've slipped back in a disappointing race thus far for the KCMG boys.
Kazuki for info, the Audi behind you is 21.6 seconds and the gap to Porsche is 16.5. We could gain a position by double 60.
Well, the team radio for Toyota Racing number 7 there, suggesting that Nakajima should double stint the car and avoid another tyre change, I believe, at that point, as we join the number 20 Porsche, who is in the pits once more. And as they run around to change the tyres, there's some damage on the front right hand of the car. Well, they're taking it back into the garage, and there's work to be done.
I had to come in because we had to change something on the rear suspension, and then afterwards we lost 2 laps. But the guys did a great job.
Rejoining the race then at 3.5 hours or thereabouts, still to go, and it's the number 7 Toyota who is in 4th place, now 3rd place ahead of the Audi. This is what happens with the pit stops. We see many position changes, and that's why it's so important for these cars to practice their pit stops, to make it so quick and so perfect in order to lose less time. Well, the pit stop window is open as we approach the halfway stage once again. And out on track, it's the number 3 Audi ahead of the number 14 Porsche. And as the Toyotas take their pit stop, the Porsche manages to now take the lead. Well, a beautiful shot on board the number 92 Porsche with the 71 Ferrari chasing him down. That's coming into La Source. The car's coming round the outside of the Porsche. What a beautiful manoeuvre from the Ferrari. That's not an easy move to make at all. And that is the battle for 4th and 5th in the Pro category. Well, as they come through the Radion at the top of Eau Rouge, the 71 Ferrari breaking away from the pair of Porsches just behind them. And again, the number 91 car putting on the pressure of the 92 Porsche ahead of him, moving to the right. Can he get through? Yes, he can, as they come through the end of the Camel Straight. The number 91 car takes 5th position from the 92 Porsche. So the LMP2 class now. And on board with the Audi, who makes his way through the traffic, making way for the battle for 2nd position in the LMP2 Class 2 commence. And it's the number 37 SMP racing car who gets through the Zytek Nissan of Jota Sport and claiming that 2nd position. Joining now, Sebastian Buemi and the number 8 Toyota racing car leading the race and putting on the charge. And look at the gap he's pulling out on the 2nd place man of Lieb in the Porsche. That's a 27-second gap that they've got there. Incredible. Toyota proving to be the cars to beat so far this season in the WEC as we approach this halfway stage. It's Toyota leading from Porsche, Audi, Toyota. In the LMP2, it's G-Drive Racing leading ahead of Jota Sport. And in the GTE Pro class, it's AF Corsa ahead of the 2 Aston Martins. Aston Martin once again leading for the GTE AM. While the fans enjoying the race action, as well as the Belgian food and the activities provided by the WEC away from the track. Down in the Audi garage then, Jean Todt and Pierre Fion greeting Tom Christensen and looking on Gérard Neveu, CEO of WEC. As we join on track the LMP1 battle for 3rd position between Alexander Wurz and Luca Di Grassi. And Di Grassi just able to get through under braking on that corner ahead of Alexander Wurz.
On the last chicane, try to avoid too much curve on the last chicane. That causes issue on the other car.
Dumas being told to avoid the curbs, and as he is, the car is slowing down dramatically.
Okay, you need to toggle hybrid switch. You need to toggle on and off hybrid switch and ignition and ignition.
Clearly a problem for the number 14 car that allowed the Audi to take 2nd position. Let's hear from Dumas in the pits.
An electrical problem. At the exit of Blanchiment, I went on a curb like it all the time, but I think something went wrong in a loom or something, so I have to do a lot of manipulation inside the car to reset the hybrid system. So we lost a little bit of time for sure.
Well, with now just over 2 hours remaining, heading through the bus stops, it's the 2nd placed Audi of Luca Di Grassi being chased down by the Toyota racing car of Alexander Wurz.
And already Di Grassi knows he's in trouble. He's gone to the right-hand side to defend. It's a futile gesture as Alex Wurz tries down the outside. Well, maybe not that futile, as Di Grassi just hung out there and used the aerodynamic advantage that he's got to brake later.
Absolutely, John, and the battle is also on in the GTE class as we see the Aston Martin alongside the Ferrari just in the centre of our shot now. These are the AM drivers, and we see the number 61 Ferrari defending very heavily against the Aston Martin that is close behind him. And in the Toyota garage, Stéphane Sarrazin and Gérard Neveu keeping up to date with the race on the WEC application. Back out on track, and it's the LMP2 cars making their way through the GT traffic. The number 47 KCMG car ahead of the number 38 Zytek Nissan. That had to be rebuilt after a heavy impact in the ELMS race at Silverstone, but the team did a fantastic job, and the car is certainly very quick here at Spa this weekend. As they make their way down towards Eau Rouge, and we've got some debris in the track there. That looks like somebody has lost a tyre. Well, a replay now as we're coming through Stavelot. Let's see what happens there. That looks like the Toyota has gone straight on, braking heavily through the gravel. As we look from on board from the Porsche now, yep, they just seem to lock up those brakes. Well, the number 14 Porsche coming into the pits as we see the number 7 Toyota rejoin the race and back along the start-finish straight. Another switch of position then as we see the 14 car in the pits. That's not a very happy looking Mark Webber, waving the cameras away as his teammates bring the car in. Brendan Hartley's at the wheel of that car currently. And it looks to have been a disappointing weekend at Spa here for the Porsche. Well, work done once again on the car, and they've rejoined the race with Mark Webber now at the wheel for the closing stages of this 6-hour endurance race. And this is our LMP2 leader, G-Drive Racing, into the pits. Julien Canal gets out and Olivier Pla gets in. And back out on this sunny Spa-Francorchamps circuit, we see once again the Jota Sport coming through to take the lead while the G-Drive car is in the pits.
Stay off the curves in turn 3 and 4, please. No curves in turn 3 and 4.
You don't want to make any damage or cause any damage to the car because Le Mans comes up quick. And if it's a bigger thing, then it's not good. But it's good practice, and I think everybody appreciates that they can actually test the cars before they go to Le Mans.
And that's the Rebellion racing car as we rejoin the action with 1 hour and 14 minutes left to go. Number 13 moving very slowly along the circuit here at Spa, and they've had a fire. They've suffered electrical problems throughout the course of this race. It's disappointment, the only car to retire from Spa-Francorchamps. And here the battle between Duval and Sarrazin, the Audi and the Toyota. We see the number 7 car of Sarrazin trying to close the gap. The Audi has sped up in the latter half of this race. And now the GTE Pro battle once again for second and third between Rion and Bergmeister. Well, coming into the bus stops on board the Porsche number 91, and you can see just under braking, they're able to close in on the Ferrari ahead of them. But it's the Ferrari that has the speed on the straight. In the pits then, for Toyota. And Anthony Davidson very happy with the performance of the car thus far in the race.
It seems to improve when the track improves. We've seen it last year, and it's kind of carried through into this year as well. So it was easier for me. The car was working really well. We learned with Sebastian that we couldn't double stint the tyre.
Well, here is the leading G-Drive car and the LMP2 cars. Let's hear from Roman Rusinov.
It's quite difficult with the traffic, with the GT, especially out of the Eau Rouge, when you have to take some risk. Otherwise, it's not possible. You can lose a lot of time. But yeah, we're confident and the car is good.
Confidence is all you need with 43 minutes remaining in the race. And confidence is what Toyota have now with a 58-second gap between them and second-placed Audi of Duval. And for Duval, the Toyota number 7 is chasing him down. He's going to make the pass as they come through into the right-hand corner. No, he's not. He's had to lift because of the hybrid technology, and that's just allowed the Audi to get ahead and to just maintain second position. Well, the number 51 Ferrari of Bruni still leading in the Pro class. And it looks to be a bit of a lone race at this point.
71 is at the moment P2. They had a little bit different strategy as well, and they tried to hold on the P2.
Well, just 33 minutes remaining of the 6-hour race here as the sun is beginning to set, and it's a beautiful sight as we see the Toyota coming down to take the Audi number 2 car on the Kemmel Straight. Just showing what power and performance the Toyotas have had this weekend. Here we see the battle between David Rion and Patrick Pilet in the GTE category, and what a battle it's been throughout the whole of this race here at Spa. Look at that as the Porsche closes in on the Ferrari. The pro battle now absolutely intense at this point in the race, and what a beautiful sight as we see the LMP cars come around the outside, the Toyota around again the outside of the Audi. Wow, and the battle continues with the Porsche still putting on the pressure behind the number 71 Ferrari. Just trying to get through under braking. Can he do it? Oh, he's alongside him now, and he's come through on that right-hand corner. And a slight bit of oversteer, but he's corrected it, and he's made the move. Here we join the number 7 Toyota of Sarrazin, who's closed the gap to just 4 seconds between himself and Duval in second place in the Audi. And as the sun comes lower in the sky here at Spa, it's harder for the vision of the drivers as we see them come through there. Joining then the leader in the LMP2 class coming through Eau Rouge and up through the Radion, with Olivier Pla putting in another fine performance here in Spa. Our race leaders then, with just over 7 minutes to go, and it's Lapierre ahead of Duval.
In the last lap. Leader is in the last lap.
The final lap then, and Toyota up on the wall, hoping to celebrate another victory here in Spa. They've certainly shown that they've got one heck of a car. It smiles all round, and it's welcome too as the checkered flag falls. At 6 hours of Spa, Toyota are the winners.
Well done, guys. Well done. Proud of you. Great job, guys. Big one next month, huh? We need the big one next month.
Thank you, Nico. Thank you. Good job. Good job. I hope next time.
What a start to the season for Toyota after a fantastic performance at Silverstone, giving them confidence coming in to Le Mans next month. Well, it couldn't be a happier picture as the number 8 crew celebrate their second win of the season in the second race.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning of the race was really tough. Then since the Porsche 14 retired, it was a bit easier for us because it would have been a very tight fight between them and us. And then it was a bit easier, but we always had to be careful about the Audi that was quite strong in the end. But in the end, we get this second win. It's a perfect beginning of the season.
And for Audi, it was a better performance here in Spa than we saw last time.
Clearly, we didn't have the speed here to be able to fight our rivals, but once again, we did the maximum we could have done. It was a great job from the team, from the mechanics. Pit stop were quick. The 3 drivers, Lucas, Tom, and myself. And yeah, at least at some points, this is what we wanted, you know, after the fiasco from Silverstone.
And it's another win for G-Drive Racing in the LMP2 category, repeating a fine performance of Silverstone. Second place goes to Jota Sport, and in third, it's KCMG.
First time for G-Drive to winning in Spa. It's also first time for me. In 10 years of racing, my first time that I'm winning in Spa, and it's quite a difficult track, and it's genuine repetition before Le Mans, so we're really confident to go in Le Mans. We get Toyota here, which is a really fast team, and we really fight hard to get this victory.
Bruni is reigning champion in the GTE Pro category, and for him and Tony Verlander, it's their first win of the season.
In a 6 hours race, we just won by 20 seconds 3 cars, so it's very, very good. I'm very happy for of course Ferrari, and for Tony, he did a fantastic job. I'm so proud of him. I think we will have a good season coming up.
In the GTM category, it's a first Ferrari win of the season. And just behind them in second and third, it's a pair of Aston Martins.
Each lap you have to push like qualifying, and half an hour to the end we still didn't know if we're going to win or not, but hopefully we won, and happy to win here in Spa.
And our overall winners of the Spa 6-hour race, it's a Toyota on the top step of the podium, and alongside them, Audi and their teammates Toyota. It's an incredible championship lead for Toyota with 84 points, ahead of Porsche with 36 and Audi with 28. Jochen Mass then presenting our winners with their trophies as the crowd look on and cheer. Join us next time for the big one, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Toyota, Audi and Porsche with the rest of the field going head-to-head for the ultimate battle.
The World Endurance Championship. The 24 Hours of Le Mans.
The fight will be intense against Toyota and Porsche.
The pinnacle of technology. Teamwork is the key to success. Day and night. A sprint during 24 hours.
This year, I will try to make 3 wins. One goal, one aim, winning the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
We are ready. What about you?